Hey everyone, and welcome to another Marks & Crafts figurine review. Today I'm going to be looking at another Digimon model kit, and this one is the Figure-Eyes Standard Amplified Omegamon Antibody. Now, they did release an Omegamon Figure-Eyes Amplified a while back, and I didn't look at it, and it's notorious for being kind of crap. But this one is a little bit different. This is the antibody version, and it's an amplified version of that. Now, people who grew up watching the Digimon movie will know that Omegamon was renamed as Omnimon, and he will always be Omnimon. But for the purposes of this review, because he is so different to the regular Omnimon, I will probably still keep calling him Omegamon, just because it works that way. And while I'm not super familiar with the antibody variants of any Digimon, because I think there's more than one, this works enough as a complete reinterpretation of the classic Omnimon or Omegamon design. Now, this model kit I did touch up quite a bit. There is quite a bit that's not quite great on it in terms of color accuracy and paint, and so I touched it up. It's not perfect by any means, but I think I did a pretty good job, all things considered. But we'll quickly have a look at the model itself. Now, Omegamon, as it is an amplified kit, there are a lot of sort of hard panel lines, small details, and things like that, the sort of stuff you'd find in, say, a master grade or real grade Bandai model kit. And they've definitely taken this to an insane degree in this model, and that has to do with all of sort of the emerald accents, the small gold accents, a lot of the detail on the face, which is unfortunately lost quite a bit because the face is just sort of a mess of spikes, and we will take a much closer look at it so you can see the detail that you would normally miss, but you can probably see all the little emerald accents and little bits of gold all strewn throughout this kit. And there is one thing that I think is quite odd, but is also accurate, at least to the model kit, which is the left shoulder here, or the right shoulder here. It's a little weird that it's gold, especially since the Gurumon part is blue and the Gurumon spikes on top of it are blue. I just find that weird. I just thought I'd bring that to your attention, and you probably can't unsee it now. Anyway, we'll go through the general aesthetics of the kit itself, as well as what I touched up. So first things first, well, not all, but a good portion of the gold on this figure I repainted. The only parts that I didn't repaint are the cape pieces, because I thought it was okay as is, and I didn't want to go through the effort of painting something and attaching the weird sticker cape thing that Gallantmon had. But anything else I completely repainted. It was either through an airbrush or with a Gundam marker. And a lot like the Gallantmon, there are a lot of color inaccuracies that are not solved by the sticker sheet. And I will quickly show you what the sticker sheet looks like. Now, there are a stupid amount of emerald stickers on this, and barely any gold stickers, and even then the gold isn't that great. Now, the only stickers I used in the top left-hand corner are the eye stickers, because I didn't want to paint those, and all of the chrome pieces I repainted with a chrome Gundam marker. Emerald I painted with an emerald Gundam marker, and then the gold, obviously, repainted as well. Now you can see there's a lot of stickers to fix the color accuracy, but they are still missing a bunch, which is really annoying. And also, pretty much all of these fold onto pieces, which means that the stickers probably won't hold that great anyway, so I highly recommend painting it if you get one. So now you can see the emerald accents on the head, the emerald going around. There's actually chrome inside the chest, and then it's like a clear green piece. The little emerald there, the gold on this little bit. That's not a paint. That's not stickers. The bits on just before the shoulders, you need to repaint those. Those are also the identical pieces of the Gallantmon, and sort of like the gold, it's really hard to see it. The gold just on his cuff, just under his neck, I'm pretty sure that's a piece from Gallantmon as well. Have a look at his head. There's the gold sort of antennae here. which we're sort of completely lost front on. There's a little bit of white on the front, which you need to repaint as well. It's a little bit messy, but oh well. All this emerald, you can see all the gold and emerald there. There's a lot of gold that needs repainting. The whole crotch area is just Gundam markers. And I think you only get a few stickers for that. You don't get all of them. I panel lined his face just a little bit to bring out the detail, but you can see it's just like an absolute mess of parts. And it's hard to see anything. His chest, little gold accents. Had to repaint. And yeah, he's got a lot that you need to do to him. I love his feet, but again, the effort that you need to go through to get that cool look of the diamonds is a little annoying. Anyway, on the side of his legs, there's... Oh, come on, stand up. He is very top heavy, and his feet aren't great. Like, he will hold a pose when you get him into it, but it's sort of balancing it initially that's tricky. He's got the emerald running up his legs. That's on both sides. Inside the knee, it's a chrome piece, and then a green clear part. Get a better look at the feet there. There's more emerald around the thigh. There's a bunch of emerald on the Wargreymon arm, which looks really cool. Inside the sword, which we'll have a better look at in a minute, that's a sticker. And I think, I don't remember exactly, but I think you get a choice of the design inside, which is kind of cool. But I went with the more elaborate design because it looked nicer. And there's this crest here. Again, repainted inside that crest, repainted the emerald bits on the sides there. I don't know if you got a sticker for those, I can't remember. But yeah. On the Groomon side, there's the cannon and just the head itself. You can panel line that a little bit. It looks pretty good. There's some little emerald you can paint inside of it to make it look a little bit better. Now you can see his cape looking nice. So the gold here, this is the gold that came out of the box, which would have been the gold. I think it's the same color gold for the Wargreymon arm. I have had this kit for quite a while and have forgotten how the paint looked. Repainted the emeralds there. You do get stickers for those. And repainted the little emerald on his backpack there. I will go through more detail after about like how the cape works, but I'll just remove it quickly. And you can see his back as well as a bunch of ports. And those ports are used for a bunch of different accessories, as he is compatible with basically every accessory from any other Figureize kit. I'm not going to go through those just because I don't have them readily on hand, and the ones that I do have readily on hand have been fully painted, and I don't really want to risk any paint chipping or anything like that. But I will quickly show you. There is just, it comes with a base adapter. Just plug it in his butt and put it onto one of the Gundam bases, because you should have an adapter to plug in there. Yeah, unfortunately he's not compatible with general bases, which is a bit of a shame. And even then, there's also other emerald details that you paint in there. There's a lot to panel line on the back if you want to, but it's hidden by the cape, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's pretty much it for general aesthetics of the kit. We can probably go through some posing now. So once again, returned to the general neutral stance, and the rest of this audio might be off of the actual camera audio, just because I want to handle this figure properly. So it's got a ball joint at the head, but it's very limited because of the collar. His arms can swing in and out, up and down. You can rotate them around. The shield's also on a ball joint. Now the lower arm has a hinge, but you can also rotate at the base here, and you can also rotate it around. So you can get some okay poses out of it, but due to the nature of the design, you can't get that much out of it, which kind of sucks. You can also remove the sword and gun, but why would you? On the other shoulder, you can rotate that around. It's the same posability, and again, you can hinge things around, kind of make them look cool. Nothing too crazy. He has a little bit of an ab crunch, but because he's so top heavy, there's not much point. His hips can swing forward, or at least just the joint just before his hips can swing, which you can get a little bit of movement out of. His waist, there's legs can move pretty far forward and back. You can move the cape out of the way, so you can get pretty good movement. I don't know if I covered all that. So leg, cape can move, leg can move out that far because he's blocked right here, which kind of sucks. Thigh can rotate, but it's quite tight. There's a double knee bend. On his feet, he can move down that far. His toes are individually articulated, but you can't really get much out of that. You can rotate the foot like that, and you can get some pretty good poses out of it. But like I said, he is very top heavy, so it's kind of hard to get good poses out of it. Now on the cape, it's multiple pieces. So there's these two major ones, and then the whole rest of the assembly. These are on ball joints, so you can flare it out. You can also pop it out of this peg here and extend the cape even further, if you like the super flared out look. I don't really like it because it's got these massive gaps in it, but it does make his profile a heck of a lot bigger. And while you can probably get a lot more poses out of an action base or something like that, you can do pretty good with him just on the ground, standing on his own power. But again, his articulation is quite limited. If you want to really take advantage of it, definitely get an action base. But overall, yeah, pretty good. It's generally like just a good aesthetic piece, not really a great figure to play around with. That's where the sort of figurized standard normal kits come in. They're more fun to actually play around with and handle, like a HG Gundam, whereas these are more basically just really cool looking statues for the most part. Like the Gallant one before, really looks cool, but I don't like touching him. And the Imperial Dramon, very similar, but for different reasons, because the transformation sort of ruins that kit a bit in terms of playability. But yeah, Omegamon's pretty cool, but can't really accomplish too much, but that's more design-based, if anything, just because the arms were never great for any sort of poses. Quick size comparison. So there he is next to WCF Neko Robin from One Piece. WCF figures are quite small, so you can sort of see him for scale. Here's the Banpresto World of Stone Dr. Stone Senku figure. Here he is next to a high-grade Gundam, which is the high-grade Gundam Gremory. And here he is next to the Bicute Bunnies Miku Sportwear version, which, sort of dwarfs him, which is kind of funny because he's quite tall even for a figurized kit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. He's a decent enough figure. He's not really mind-blowing in any way. From my understanding, he's better than the original Omegamon model kit that they pumped out, but he is really just an aesthetic piece. He looks great when you've detailed him up, but if you're just straight building him and not using the stickers, he will look like trash. And if you are using the stickers, be ready for them to peel off. And be ready for some parts to be completely missing, like a lot of the gold trim and stuff like that, which is a bit of a shame. But again, it is a very cool aesthetic piece, and that's pretty much all it is. It will look good in any sort of Digimon collection, but it will look a bit weird just on its own. It really depends on how much you really like Omegamon and how much you like this design. But those are just my opinions. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you all next time.